You've just heard that you have been diagnosed with prostate cancer and your world has turned upside down. Anger, sadness, despair, and other intense emotions are all normal reactions to a life-threatening illness like cancer. But what next? You have many questions and no answers as yet. At this difficult time, you and your relatives can get the support you need from the Dutch Prostate Cancer Foundation, the PKS. We can guide you and help you find the answers you are looking for. We will help you find your way through the maze of possibilities. Prostate cancer, what now? Where do I find the right information? Do I have some time to get a second opinion before I start the prescribed treatment? Do I have some time to get a second opinion before starting the prescribed treatment? Should I do as the urologist told me and start the treatment immediately? These are all questions that we can answer for you. Together, we are stronger, and together, we will follow this path. The strength of an association of patients lies in its expertise. The Foundation acts exclusively and independently from the patient's perspective. As a patient's association, PKS focuses on the content and quality of care and acts as a guide. Our position is growing ever stronger due to continuous developments in the healthcare sector. The government and the healthcare sector expect patients to take an increasing degree of personal responsibility.
Uiteraard.
Of course, your GP and the urologist are the specialists who inform you and advise you on the best treatment options. However, some men and their partners would like to know more. They already do have some information, but still feel uncertain about the choice they have to make, a choice which is so important to them. Our mission and goal is to serve the interests of patients and ex-patients, to support individual fellow patients across the country, to provide information, and to stimulate research. The Foundation aims to reach this goal by participating in an umbrella organization, creating and managing networks for contact between fellow sufferers, providing donors with information, and organizing national and regional meetings. Core tasks are carried out by volunteers, who sometimes give a great deal of their time for free. Fellow patients are brought together through contact networks.
Ja, zou dat een grap kunnen zijn, maar ik ben op
A few years ago, I had an operation for prostate cancer. It was so important then to be able to talk to fellow patients about how you were, what you were feeling, where you could go and what they would advise. And that's exactly with which the Prostate Cancer Foundation supported me very well. As a donor, you receive the magazine 4 times a year. You also receive a personal invitation to take part in the Foundation's regional meetings. Besides providing medical information, they are also an opportunity for personal contact and advice. One of the Foundation's initiatives is the Prostate Cancer Logbook, written from the perspective of the patient. It's a good example of the guidance the Foundation aims to provide. The logbook gives extensive information about diagnostics, treatment, and living with prostate cancer. It contains many answers and allows a patient to follow the course of his illness and put questions to the doctors through the diary system. And I think that's where the Prostate Cancer Foundation plays a very important role, because that's where you can get information from people who've experienced it and who can help you with taking decisions. The PKS is seen as the leading patients' association for men with prostate cancer. It's known to practically all the organizations and media concerned with prostate cancer care. The PKS is for men with prostate cancer and their relatives. It has an influence on health insurance companies, healthcare providers, industry, and the government. It follows, checks, and publishes the quality of healthcare provision. It focuses on providing information, putting fellow patients in contact with each other, and serving the interests of patients. The chance of a man being diagnosed with prostate cancer is almost 10%. prostate cancer has a huge impact on relationships, which is a subject that is barely discussed. Men do not often realize how difficult it can be for their partner. We aim to guide both the patient and his relatives through the healthcare landscape in a personal way. Partners are often seen as mere background figures, but they suffer as well, and maybe even more so than the patient himself. After all, his or her life undergoes radical change too. Yet it is often the partner who can offer a ray of hope in an apparently hopeless world. So a bit of extra attention is certainly welcome. If your partner is with you now, give him or her a thank you hug.
Ik ben Harm Kuipers en ik kreeg in 2010 de diagnose
I'm
prostate
Harm Kuipers,
uitgezaaid.
former sportsman, and in 2010 I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, metastatic. Just like every other patient, I had a real need for information.
En ik heb heel veel
And
hulp
I
en
got
steun
lots of
gekregen
help and support
van de
from the Prostate
Prostaatkankerstichting.
Cancer Foundation.
Want de
They help you get
Prostaatkankerstichting helpt
information
patiënten bij
so
het
that you are well
verwerven van
prepared to
informatie,
discuss your
waardoor jij
situation
ook
with a
naar
specialist
specialist toe
and
goede
come to a joint
gesprekspartner
decision
bent en samen
about the
met de
eventual
specialist
treatment.
de uiteindelijke
Quality of life
behandeling
is,
kunt
of course,
beslissen,
an
waarbij
important
natuurlijk
factor
kwaliteit
here,
van leven
as you
een
are
belangrijk
deciding
gegeven
about
is.
your
Jij
illness.
beslist over jouw ziekte.
When the disease is diagnosed, all sorts of questions suddenly spring to mind. These questions can be difficult to discuss with others, and may include things like, my sex life, how will it change, and how can I deal with that change? Incontinence, what is it, and what do I have to take into account? My mental condition, how can I handle that? Will it affect my work, and how will colleagues react? Should I tell them, and who should I tell? Through contact with other fellow patients, it becomes easier to talk about these questions, and many men will be able to draw strength from this fact. Being there for each other and fighting together against cancer makes things a little easier, because sometimes you really think that you have to do it all alone. For these men, their partners and their families, the PKS is more and more an essential source of information, a useful representative, and an organizer of contact with fellow patients.